welcome. I'm Chris Principe, publisher of Financial IT, and I'm really pleased to be here at Sibos, the SWIFT event here in Beijing, China. And this is really important because it's the first time SWIFT has ever brought the Sibos event to China, and we're in Beijing, the capital of China, the capital of finance, the capital of business. We're surrounded right now with banks from all over the world, software companies from all over the world, and just a really interesting arrangement of people, companies, and banks that are bringing the latest and greatest of what's going on in the world today here to Sibos. And with that, I'm with one of the great companies, LexisNexis Risk Solutions. And I have with me Ed. Ed, how are you?
Great to be here.
Thank you. Please tell us a little bit.
Yeah, so my name's Ed Metzger. I'm the Vice President for the payments efficiency business within LexisNexis Risk Solutions. LexisNexis Risk Solutions is a data and technology company, global. We work with over 95% of the Fortune 500. And we're all about making sure that our customers, who are very often banks and financial institutions, can manage their risk effectively across a whole range of different areas. My portfolio, the business that I look after, we call payments efficiency. Now, to the financial world, the brand that most resonates is actually the Banker's Almanac. That is a market-leading product that's been around now for over 150 years. We've actually, at our stand, we have our the very first Banker's Almanac that was produced in 1845, which has proved very popular here with the bankers to see a part of history. Today, what do we do? Well, we focus on providing our customers, who are banks, financial institutions, and corporates, with the very best in financial data and technology to solve their payments problems. The reason why we're called payments efficiency as a unit is because we're focused on ensuring that payments move efficiently through the system, so they get to the right destination with straight-through processing and with the right validations and verifications to ensure that money can move efficiently and smoothly between countries and within countries. We've also, in response to our customers, and it's been great actually here just being able to speak to so many of our customers, we are now also very active in helping our customers combat fraud, in particular authorized push payment fraud, which has come up again and again in our conversations as being an area of concern. And as I said, it's been a very useful event in terms of us being able to understand what our customers are thinking, what the wider ecosystem is thinking about, and also where we need to go. And I'm sure we'll talk about some of those things, but there's a few clear trends in the market. The rise of artificial intelligence, the rise of international money movements. So every year there's more and more international payments, more and more challenges in terms of managing the cost, from compliance to handling exceptions and failed payments, and that's our core business, is helping our clients manage that.
Well, I tell you caught my interest right away with the Banker's Almanac first edition, because I grew up with the Banker's Almanac.
Right.
So it's always been kind of a part of a lot of what we've done wherever I've been. And the payments efficiency, I think it's a really key area right now, because Sibos, SWIFT in general, has moved very much to be strong in the payment space. Moving payments faster, safely has become a big thing. I mean, who doesn't want to get paid faster? So you have your remit is really an important area. In particular, what in the payment space do you find that are the biggest challenges for banks?
Well, so I think the fundamental challenge, which we see all the time, is that there's more and more competition in the payment space. So if you rewind 50 years ago, how you made payments was quite simple. You went to your bank And the reality is, over the last 50 years, new competition has emerged. There's fintechs, there's payment specialists, payment service providers. There's a whole new world of settlement mechanisms. There's crypto, but now there's central bank backed digital currencies. So that ecosystem is becoming more complex. But underpinning it all is there's now more choice for consumers, there's more choice for companies. And so payment customer experience is at the heart of the battle. Now, that how does the customer payment experience link to payments efficiency? Well, the worst experience is a failed payment, a payment that never arrives, is returned, is lost, and that's also the worst thing you can do from an efficiency point of view. So every year we do a study across the industry, which is the true impact of failed payments, and what we see is on average something like just over 10% of international payments fail. That's across all the markets, across all corridors, but that's an astonishing figure, and it's very hard to get down to a lower level. And that it's also important to think about the human side of that. Every time there's a failed payment, it's not just a statistic, it's someone hasn't been paid their salary, a company hasn't been able to pay its vendors or its suppliers. And so there's I think that fight for the customer experience, capturing that customer experience, is critical. And what we see is that the data is the key, right? So being able to accurately populate a payment message in the current world of the ISO, as SWIFT is moving to ISO, that ability to have accurate data every time, all the time, is one of the keys to enable a great customer experience.
The ecosystem right now, really, you're right, it's expanded dramatically. So when you talk about payments efficiency, how does the risk solution fit into some of this?
Yeah, so I think there's a number of different problems that we solve. There's two main ones, and I'll talk about the third one, which is where we're seeing a lot of interest. So the two main problems we solve are: how do you populate a payment message, a SWIFT message, or a domestic payment message? So they are very complex, and as a user, when we use a banking app, we just type in an IBAN number or something. It seems very simple, but behind the scenes, there's a whole wealth of data that needs to be populated in that payment message. And one of our core products, Bankers Almanac Payments, is all around ensuring that the right data is available in the message at the right time. And how customers tend to use that is they will populate and then verify and validate the payment message. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is one of the big costs in managing payments is being able to KYC your counterparty. So here at Sibos, you see the whole place is full of correspondent bankers who are doing deals, trying to get the best arrangement for their customers and for their corridors. But the reality is that process, regulators, again, over the last 30, 40 years, have demanded more and more in terms of due diligence. And so we have a product or family of products around KYC, financial counterparty KYC. Bankers Almanac KYC is how it's known in the market. And that is a market-leading solution which enables, rather than having to, our customers having to ask for umpteen documents, huge amounts of information from each of their counterparties, they can get that more efficiently. The third element I just wanted to talk about was the rise of authorized push payment fraud. So over the last few years, we have heard from our customers, it's great you can help me with the routing to payment and getting the payment there. It's great you can help me identify and manage the risk for my counterparties. What can you do to help us manage this emerging threat of authorized push payment fraud, which is growing all the time. So there's, sort of, I was just today looking at some figures where the total loss will exceed globally 5 billion. And all of that represents someone who's lost their life savings, a company that's been defrauded and can't pay its workers. It's a huge threat, and it erodes trust in the payment system. And so what we did a few years ago was we decided to invest heavily in creating a suite of products to help our customers fight this threat and re-establish the previous level of trust in the system. And so what this system does is it allows our customers to confirm that if I am paying John Smith at account 123456, that account actually does belong to John Smith. We've launched that in over 10 countries now, so our customers can call an API and allow their consumers to confirm, am I paying the right person? And how that plays into that space is obviously, as a user, you're putting in the payment details, you press submit, and our API will return a message effectively allowing our customers to say to their customer, be careful, the name you think you're paying does not actually own this account. And that's a very useful indicator of fraud and acts as one of the signals that says, watch out, this transaction might not be authentic.
Oh boy, I really was impressed with a lot of information, especially, I've seen also the market is moving to the push payments. It's something that there's a lot of challenges with. And maybe you could speak a little bit about maybe a specific challenge for us.
Well, I think, that challenge of the authorized push payment fraud it's a very difficult one for the industry to handle. Because typically in an authorized push payment fraud, the victim is convinced in some way to make a payment. Sometimes it's to an account whose ownership is different to what they believe, and other times actually the scam is so complex, so rich in that sense that the victim willingly goes along with it. And it's a very hard problem for the industry to solve because I mentioned before the importance of customer experience. Everyone wants payments to be easy, to be seamless. But at the same time, if you allow payments to be completely seamless, it incentivizes that type of fraud. And I think that conundrum is really critical. So how do we handle it? So as I mentioned, we have probably two key things we can do. One is to check the ownership of the destination account, which I just talked about, which is our safe payment verification product. But the other is there's a whole mass of signals and data that we can use to look at that end-to-end transaction. And that's from, say, the behavioral use of the phone that the payment is being made from, the previous behavior of the account. Is this a normal payment? Have we seen this type of pattern of usage for that individual sender before? And so we, as LexisNexis Risk Solutions, we have a number of services that our customers use to be able to make that fuller assessment of the transaction. So if you combine ensuring that the payment is going to the right place with using a wealth of data to create an overall picture of the riskiness of that transaction, you can achieve, I think, almost like a golden situation. And the golden situation is that the customer feels that the transaction is seamless, but actually you have secured it by using all of these data points, by ensuring that you have understood who owns the destination account.
It's really interesting then how LexisNexis Risk Solutions is going about solving some of these challenges. And I'm hearing not only for the banks, but for the end users, whether it's corporations, SMEs, or people personally. And a very important area for people because payments are the heart of really everybody. So why Sibos is a choice for LexisNexis Risk Solutions to come to?
So we come here because to be honest, it's where our customers are, right? So it's been a tremendous experience being here over the last few days. We've seen so many contacts that we know in the industry, so many customers of ours, so many clients, and it's also, I think, where the other thing for me personally that I value about Sibos is it's great to plug into the latest industry thinking on where the market is going, what do we have to think about next. And so, for instance, this time at Sibos, the clear leader in that sort of future scoreboard has been artificial intelligence and the rise of AI, both as a means to make payments work better, more efficiently, and also as a threat, right, to the safety and security of payments.
So on that, we talked a little about AI. What do you see going forward the future will bring for LexisNexis Risk Solutions, as well as what you see personally for the industry?
In terms of AI, yeah.
Well, AI, but we can go broader than AI if you'd like.
I think the AI topic is a really interesting one because it touches actually on a number of other topics. So, for instance, one of the things that we hear a lot from our customers and that we've observed is the use of AI to combat financial crime. So we at LexisNexis Risk Solutions, we're one of the world's leading providers of systems and solutions to help banks and financial institutions combat financial crime, to do screening, to do transaction monitoring. And what we see is there's more and more interest in using AI or machine learning to draw lessons from patterns of behavior to really understand at system level, well, where's the risk concentrated here, and then go down to the individual customer transaction. So AI, in that sense, I think is very much an area where we are working in because our customers and our clients are interested in exploring that space. And I think the other topic I mentioned about was there's always a downside to all of these technological developments. And one of the challenges is around today we have an industry-wide threat from authorized push payment fraud and other types of fraud like invoice fraud. And in the future, with deep fakes, with fake videos, etc., we anticipate that trend of increased risk is just going to increase. And so again, we're working with our partners in the industry and with our customers to further enrich our suite of products to be able to anticipate the threat and head it off while maintaining that seamless customer experience.
But I tell you, it's comforting to know that you're really working ahead on solutions for risk management, for prevention of fraud. It's important for everyone out there. I wish you the best of success in meeting those challenges and helping all of us with those challenges. And Ed, it was quite a pleasure to have you here today with us from Sibos.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much.
Chris Principe, Financial IT.